Yango Obo. He and 10,000 more are watching live right now online. And he says, you led the African Union reform process and most of its financing mechanisms. Given the failure of AU diplomacy and security interventions in the Horn of Africa, the fiasco the EAC faced in Eastern DRC, the mixed results of the Luanda process, do you think perhaps AU needs a reform of its political and diplomatic processes? Some have gone as far as calling for the disbanding of the AU's Peace and Security Council and the creation of a new, more effective mechanism. Do you agree? And what reforms, if any, do you think can make change?
Well, on what you said, do I agree? I don't. Because it's not the structure or the form or whatever you have in place that is the problem. It is the people. It's the leaders. It's the people working in those structures and therefore subsequently the countries they come from that are a problem. So how do structures in themselves become a problem? So even if you created another structure, but you have the same people thinking the same way, what are you likely to get out of that? I think Charles must be aware of that. I don't know what really needs to be done. Yes, I was given responsibility by the leaders of our continent to work with others to suggest the reforms that can be made on our continent. I was happy to lead that process. And by the way, I also reached a point, after I had more or less completed the main bulk of what I was supposed to do, I thought we needed maybe to find another person. Because when I was seeing some, I mean, you can hear this. We sit in meetings, leaders, I'm talking leaders, of leaders, presidents, prime ministers, and others. We agree something in a room like this. Suggestions that have come from us. We agree. We put something in place. And then, in the end, nothing works. Do you think it's a problem of the process? It's a problem of the structure? What is the problem? I think the answer is obvious. The problem is us. So in fact, when I even wanted to test that, because when it was just going back and forth like this and that, and we agree something, we don't do it, or we do it halfway, and so that is how I decided. And I told the leaders in the room that, you know what, I've been very happy to serve you, but I think it has come to the time we try somebody else. Maybe before you get tired of me, or before I get too frustrated myself, but to serve the cause of reform, I think we can, here in this room, choose somebody else to lead the process, so that we try different people, different angles of dealing with the matter, and that's how the process went to a different person, the President of Kenya, President Ruto. In fact, in the meeting, they even asked me who I think could be. So I gave them my proposition. All was to try and make a point to me that I mean, I was trying to make a point to these people that we have a problem we need to address. And it's not going to be one person here or one structure there. Collectively, we have a problem because we cannot adhere to even things we have suggested ourselves and agreed and put in place and make them work to serve us well. So suggesting to dismantle this and create this, and I don't think gives us any solution. The problem is in us. We need to, if we want things to work, we need to adhere to what we have agreed, what we think is important for our continent, for our people, and so we just have to keep trying with what we have in place. Yes, if there is a need to change something, sure, you can do that. But you still remain with the problem with not doing what you have agreed, irrespective of whatever changes, other changes you put in place. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't see that. We need to find some way. I don't know whether, some magic. Whether we need to be saved, we need to, somehow we have to find some cleansing process where we renew ourselves and we, I don't know, we have to find something. Otherwise, we are really not serving ourselves well. Mm-hmm.
We'll now come back to the room and take more questions.
Yeah.
RFI, and then we can come to Al Jazeera.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Your Excellency. My name is Lucie Mouillot, and I'm the journalist for Radio France International. After the postponement of the Head of State Summit in Luanda in December, what is the current state of the Luanda talks? And how does Rwanda perceive the continuation of the negotiation? Thank you.
What the last part, sorry?
How does Rwanda perceive the continuation of the negotiations in the Rwanda talks?
Yeah. For that one, I try to give it a short answer. Much as it lies in the early explanations I was giving. There has to continue an effort to find a solution. If I start backwards, there has to be an effort to continue finding a solution to this problem. But it can't be business as usual. We can't continue the way we have been doing it, putting the importance of the process above the results. I think what we are looking for are the results, not the process. But we need the process to get there. And in the process, therefore, you need to do what is right. So on that note, really the effort has to keep in place, and we have to keep asking ourselves the right questions and finding the right answers. The FDLR question has to be answered. There is no dodging, being dodged about that and circling around the problem endlessly. We have to find a solution. Tied with that, the internal problems of DRC, of persecuting their own people and making it our problem, by giving us refugees and by giving us all sorts of names that we are supporting those people fighting for their rights in the DRC, has to find a solution. And the solution lies in internal political process or dialogue that the government can, on one hand, they say they want to talk to this, and then they say, no, we'll never talk to them, they are terrorists, and then, so you even don't get to understand what is really is it that you are dealing with. They say, no, we won't talk to them, but we shall mandate somebody else to talk to them for us. I don't know what that leads to. I can't be blamed for it, really. Do you want a solution or you don't want a solution? That's it. And if you want a solution, then the character of the process and the quality of it explains it. People can see what you are doing and you understand that you actually want a solution. So the meeting did not happen because, again, it wasn't the appearance there that was the most important thing. It was what was taking us there and how it is being addressed that was more important. And before the summit was to take place, there had been technical people meeting, discussing, and ministers meeting, DRC, Rwanda, and Angola. The technical people would agree things, and then it comes to ministers, what the technical people agreed, half of it is rejected. And when I'm saying this, mark you and check. It should really be rejected by DRC, not Rwanda. Even if earlier it was endorsed by technical people from DRC and agreed with our people and the Angolans, it comes to a meeting of ministers. The minister says, no, this one can't happen. So they go on for a long time. Ministers' meeting comes and they meet, they discuss, and when they are getting close to something, the minister of DRC steps out, picks a phone call, makes a call, and comes back and says, no, I don't want this. Said, but this thing you don't want is what leads us to finding a solution. And he says, no way, I don't want. So that's, in the end, they disagreed until maybe 3 o'clock in the morning or something. And, but still then there was insistence, no, we must go there and sign. And sign something. Not even to have another discussion, because I don't think there was even need for that to happen. So that's what killed the summit. So it's not Rwanda that killed the summit. It's actually DRC. And they were saying it, by the way, for those who want to hear. If you don't want to hear, that's another matter. But when statements are coming from heads of state and foreign and ministers, and they are saying, no, they will never do this, and yet that is what is being asked to be done, even logically, and sometimes in agreement with the mediator, and he says, no way. First of all, these are terrorists, I will never speak to them, meaning he's not prepared to find a political solution to the internal problems, but is willing to continue blaming them on Rwanda. And then he's dodgy about FDLR. One time he says they don't exist, that they are not there. Another time they say, yeah, but they are there, but they are few. Then another time he says, no, but this is just an excuse. They are there, but it is an excuse. They want to steal our minerals. I mean, it becomes childish stuff. You can't even know what you are dealing with. So I had agreed to go all the way until last minute, and they said, because I didn't see what was taking me there, honestly. So, but the other question I started with, or you asked, and I started answering was, there has to be a way of finding a solution. We can't just live with it and give up, but there are going to be these ups and downs in finding the solution.
Thank you, sir. We will now go to Al Jazeera.
Thank you, Mr. President. Laith Mushtaq from Al Jazeera Digital. Mr. President, in a few days, there is a new administration will take office in United States. Do you expect a change in how Washington deals with the situation in Eastern Congo? Thank you.
Well, first of all, I respect the change that has taken place in the United States, because for it to happen, it must have been for very good reasons that the Americans endorsed in their vote. So I'm happy with what there is, and I've got to deal with it the way it is. And building on that, I think so many things have changed and will change. First of all, the administration changed through a democratic process. There are many things, even geopolitically, at least to the approach, that are going to change, for sure. And I guess, and I think so, that it will be the same to the approach of how African matters may be dealt with, generally, and also specifically with Eastern Congo, the same might see change happen. That's what I think from a distance and just waiting for what will follow. But I think there is bound to be change, not just one in one place, but many changes in many places at the same time. Because it's not only that things have changed in the United States. I can still see many things changing across the world. In fact, at a terrific speed, that we have to work hard to take care of ourselves, given the whirlwind of change sweeping across the world.